With Congress battling to find common ground to keep the federal government open last night, lawmakers might be able to learn a thing or two about those who came before them. There's a brand new book out now that's talked about lessons learned and building bridges when people disagree, even in Congress. Christopher Ullman's latest book is called Four Billionaires and a Parking Attendant, and he joins us this morning to talk about what he's learned about building bridges, solving problems, among other things. Chris Ullman, good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Tom,
Again,
thanks for having me.
Pleasure to see you. It's a book of its time because this book talks about how to form relationships and, at least at the bare minimum, work with people you might not agree with and you might not even like, which is very important when you're trying to get deals done. You worked for Four Billionaires. Who were they?
They are David Rubenstein, who your audience knows really well, Bill Conway and Dan Daniello from the Carlyle Group. And then there's an up-and-coming billionaire named Orlando Bravo, who runs an investment firm called Thoma Bravo. They're either clients or former bosses of mine, and they are featured in my new book for the lessons I've learned from them.
So what's different about these billionaires as opposed to the fact that they have $1 billion? Do they operate different than normal folks?
They have intense focus. They have intense purpose. They're hyper innovative. They're a little crazy.
Yeah.
They have thick skin. They are relentless. They just go over, under, through.
And in reading the book, one thing that I took away from this was that they don't tend to ponder on things a lot. They are very action-oriented, and they don't, mull over things and kind of wrestle with them as much. It's easy to say, act like a billionaire if you don't have $1 billion, but are there some things like that that people can replicate in their own lives even if they aren't a billionaire?
There's not a lot of this going on, hand-wringing among them. They're very decisive. And when you have purpose, you know where you're going. And then if you have drive, discipline, humility, these are the things that will actually help you get there. So those are some of the the key characteristics that they have.
It's not just billionaires. You have all kinds of profiles of people that you have encountered in your work life, traveling in these circles. One of those individuals may also be familiar to our viewers. It's the current governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, who worked for years at the Carlyle Group, which was founded by David Rubenstein. You had a very interesting line in this paragraph about Glenn Youngkin. You've known him for years. He said, Glenn is immensely talented. I doubt the governor's mansion in Richmond will be his last taxpayer-funded home. Do you expect Glenn Youngkin to run for president?
Yes.
You do?
Not in 24, though. And I have no inside information, but Glenn is very smart, very focused, and he can read the tea leaves. So there's a dalliance going on here and the prospect of making all the right connections. But 28 is where he's focused, I believe.
In fact, just the other day at the Economic Club at Washington, David Rubenstein did sit down for a one-hour conversation with Youngkin. And David Rubenstein tried not once, but twice.
Three, four, five.
I lost track at a certain point, and Youngkin would not, definitively go there. However, the interest is there, clearly, because he keeps getting asked about it. When you look at the characters in this book, the parking attendant was the one that jumped out at me, because it's somebody you might not expect. Who is he? Why was he important to include here?
Wonderful Ethiopian immigrant to America. I went to his naturalization ceremony when he became an American. Parking attendant in the building, parked my car every day for 4 years. His name is Salah Awal-Rashid. An amazing person who chooses to be happy. It's either cold in the garage, it's hot in the garage, it's dark in the garage, and every day he was happy. It was a choice, and that really inspired me. He earned his way into this book, and he's a really interesting complement to the billionaires, the CEOs, the chairman, each of whom I worked with personally, but I also worked with Salah, and he really touched my heart.
It's an interesting study in mindset. Christopher Ullman, we appreciate it. The new book is Four Billionaires and a Parking Attendant. It's a quick read. It's a good read. I enjoyed it. You as well will, too. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you so much, sir.